that bad.
Start recording. Do I have the what's on
You got the intro?
Let me see if I have it.
Yeah, see if you remember how to do this. It's been a few weeks since we talked about Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, right? That's last.
I think that's the last time we recorded.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Right.
I'm just gonna fucking wing it, I guess, because
that's all right. Hey.
Yeah, I'll do the I'm gonna play the opening and then we'll get into this, all right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, couch co-opers, couch codependents, couch potatoes, something, couch something, casting couch, pornography artists. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and joining me is Jarrod.
Hello there.
We just literally did a beer podcast, and Aaron and Dave were here, and then they said, we're going to talk about
And
video
now
games
they're not.
after, and they were like, later.
We're out. Video games, what?
What? We don't do that. We drink beer and we leave. It's like, let's see. We're Couch Co-op Show. At Couch Co-op Show, all one word, no hyphen. You can find us everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, iTunes. I don't know. Everywhere. I mean, at this point, we're an institution, and if you don't know about the institution, then who cares?
Check out the Couch Co-op podcast.
Yes, we also do another. If you love us so much, our just wonderfully bubbly personalities, and would like to and you like beer, you should go listen to our podcast that we also do. That's a little more timely than this one. The Couch Co-op.
This is the one we've been doing almost every week.
The Couch Co-op. We've been a bit more. It's easier. It's a beer. It's a half hour. It's easy to do. Video games have become, not for all of us, but some of us, a little bit of a chore.
Well, with summertime, it's very difficult for lots of adults to endure in gaming and children and life. And summer is a very busy time.
For sure.
Especially now, I have a 2 and a 7-year-old. Dave has a 11-year-old. Aaron is
a preteen.
Getting there.
Oh yeah, his wife's pregnant.
And
she's expecting.
Ian has many food babies.
I have a dog.
Every day.
I have a dog.
And a dog.
No, here's the thing. So the Couch Co-op Show, the Couch Co-op Show is us, the Red Couch Co-op. You've seen it. If there's another show out there called the Couch Co-op, you put an H in front of the O, and there's a little hop on the couch. It's the same thing, but there's a hop. Come on, it's easy to find. Check us out. Yep. Hang out with us.
It's the normal 4 guys.
Yeah.
Ian, me, Jarrod, Dave, and
I like
Aaron.
it. Me, Ian, Jarrod, Dave.
Well, and
Jarrod.
People listening to the audio don't know who me is. If
right.
This is the first or second time they've listened.
This is true. You can also find the video versions on my YouTube page, youtube.com/milkmanpictures. You can find the video versions of the Couch Co-op and the Couch Co-op. But we're not here to just drone on about bullshit because we don't really care about that.
It's been a while, so
it's been a while.
The few people that might be when they look in their stream and they're like, "Oh, hey, another episode." It's been a while.
So it's been 4 weeks. 4 weeks ago, Ratchet and Clank had come out. 5 weeks ago, and we talked about Ratchet and Clank. Jarrod and I love Ratchet and Clank. Great game.
I think I had the platinum at that point.
I don't know if you did, but you do.
Oh,
now.
I almost did, but yeah, I have it. So I did get the platinum. That's the update from last episode.
I never went back and platinum did.
Oh, it's so I got it in less than
I know.
hours.
A lot of it's super, but part of me is just I don't want to run through that and collect that shit. I don't know. Part of me is I like.
Yeah.
There's part of me is like
It's
wants to
fun.
compete against my friends like you for platinums, and there's part of me is
Yeah.
like, what's the fucking point?
No, I don't even find it to be a competition. Like every once in a while, like I think I checked like how many you had versus how many I had. I think we have about the same. I don't recall the number, but it's just fun. Like if it's a game that I love and I want to play it more, it just gives me an incentive to play it more. So I kept on playing, and it got me to try it to play it in new ways instead of just beating the game and being done.
It,
You can do different things and play it, in your own way, having fun.
it used to be
Yeah.
something I was way more concerned with. The trophy thing. Lately, it's been less of a thing, and I think one of the main reasons I'm not going back on Ratchet is that I wanted to play through it because I love the series, but once I do get a better TV, then I'll
Oh,
revisit it. So like I don't.
yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like I have a
I gotcha.
standard high definition TV, and I don't have all the bells and whistles like Jared does. But I wanted to play the game, obviously, so I played through the game. I think at some point I'll revisit a bunch of games with a better TV. So I'm just that's kind of where I'm at. So like I'm not really not even pressured myself to go back and do it. It's like at some point I am going to get a better TV and then we'll do it. But that's kind of where I'm at. Cuz
Yeah.
then I also
Yeah.
it gives me something to do while looking at the prettiness, you know.
Of course. I would also like to upgrade my TV once the latest models go on a better sale,
Right.
because there's different features that the PS5 takes advantage of, and not many TVs currently that have those features, like updated HDMI port,
For sure.
dynamic HDR, and that kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of wiggle room, and eventually 8K, but I don't know when I'll get into that. I don't like I feel that the PlayStation 5 will be similar to the PlayStation 4 when it upgraded to 4K, where it's gonna be 8K-ish and it'll be okay-ish.
Okay-ish.
So yeah. So we'll see. I
Well,
mean,
let's hey, this is
let's start the show.
if you haven't really picked up on it yet, this is going to be a shoot the shit episode. But so we're just going to catch up a little bit. So Jared, literally what the fuck have you been playing for the last few weeks after Ratchet and Clank? What have you been up to?
So as I'm staring at my PC, what I've been playing on my PC is I finally started chugging away at Psychonauts, which this month Psychonauts 2 comes out. So I'm really digging Psychonauts, the first one, and there's also a VR one that I can play in PlayStation VR. So I think I'll probably play both of those, and then wait until Psychonauts 2 comes out and maybe gets a little more affordable, and dive into that because I'm really liking the characters and the voice acting. Actually, the voice acting really holds up in that game. I'm really impressed, and the ideas in it are really fun. The graphics, you can tell they're older because the game came out a long time ago, but it doesn't really matter because they're in such a really cool artistic manner that it just holds up on its own because it's artistic. It's by Double Fine, and that company was acquired by Microsoft. So any future endeavors of the Psychonauts series will likely not be on PlayStation products, but they'll be on PC, which my computer won't run most newer games. So
But it took so long to get Psychonauts 2 out that I imagine that by the
yeah,
time Psychonauts 3 comes out, Double Fine will then also be back on PC and PS3. You're fine.
yeah, PS3, huh? Yeah, but
Oh, PS3.
I understand. Like, I don't know. We're still waiting to see what kind of into like, will all these companies that Microsoft bought, will they push it to other consoles? Maybe. There's a good chance they won't, at least for a long period of time. There might be like the exclusivity window or something like that, but it's way too early to tell anything like that. So I'm not even gonna say what it's going to be because there's no reason. There's not. But because Double Fine was working on other console versions for so long, there it would have just been a big waste of money if they threw the PlayStation 4 version of it out and only released it on
Oh,
Xbox and
right. Yeah,
PC.
no. I mean, Microsoft
Yeah.
bought them at the tail end of development, so it's like we had already decided that we were going to reset. We already promised everybody that we were going to sell this on PS4, or whatever. So like they can't renege on that.
Yeah, and I think that Microsoft, they're actually a really good company, and they don't want their now employees of Double Fine to just be really annoyed and
Well,
angry that they threw years of their life away developing for a specific
it's the same.
console.
It's the same thing with Bethesda and the Deathloop and Tokyo, whatever that Tokyo game is, because those games are Bethesda games, and Bethesda got purchased, but they were already going to be released for PlayStation. So like,
Yeah,
they're
exclusively.
yeah, isn't that funny?
Ghostwire. It's probably like a
Ghostwire.
1-year exclusivity. Window,
Yeah, but
Ghostwire,
isn't
yeah.
that funny? Like, Microsoft owns a company that's going to release a game exclusively for PlayStation.
Yeah, it's really unusual time for gaming right now. It's like both of them big. I mean, I don't know if I should count Nintendo in this. It would be nice if they'd work with Microsoft and Game Pass and streaming games and stuff like that, or even Netflix if they start streaming games. They should do that on Switch. But when I'm comparing Sony and Microsoft, it's just such different markets at this point because of Xbox Game Pass just destroying. It's such a cool thing. Like all these people that have Game Pass are going to be able to play Psychonauts too.
But I have a question.
And
Okay,
that's
let
awesome.
me interrupt right there. But how many? What is it that like it's a gamer who says, why do I need to buy a Xbox when I can just get Game Pass? Like I get it. I get the Game Pass is a really cool thing and it trumps PlayStation. But it doesn't it just keep people from buying an Xbox? I'll buy a PlayStation. I won't buy an Xbox. I have a PC. Game
So
Pass. I feel like Game Pass is actually not killing PlayStation. It's killing Microsoft. Like it's keeping people from buying an actual physical Xbox because they have a PC. Like that's my belief. That's my understanding. Like gamers, I feel like that's what's happening. Like it's not PlayStation doesn't fear Game Pass.
yeah, they have their own thing going on and they're doing really well.
No, but like literally, if you can play it,
Microsoft is
if you can play it on a PC, then you can play very
that
little PlayStation games on a PC. There's like what, 2?
that's the issue. Like a lot of people probably bought their PC forever ago that might want to play it, and it's really expensive to upgrade a PC.
But there's still
So you might
games
as well
on
buy an
Game Pass you can
Xbox.
play, Jared. So like,
Can
oh,
you can stream it, right? Like, can you,
you can
stream the Xbox Game Pass?
no. They're all
That's
downloads.
that, or is that only PlayStation Now?
That's only
that you
PlayStation
can
Now.
stream on?
PlayStation Now is stream PlayStation 1 through 3, PS4 downloads or streams.
Or streams, yes.
Uh,
Yeah, so
Xbox
that's
Game
really
Pass is
interesting.
download only, and whether your system can play it or not is up to your system.
Yeah, like Hades, I think is on Game Pass, and I don't think I could play that on my PC. Like I might be the anomaly. I just got a computer from you and upgraded it from other sources, and maybe bought a little bit of extra RAM. But RAM doesn't fix all issues. It helps a little bit. But like a GPU, if I wanted to buy a 5-year-old GPU right now, it's like $200 or more.
But don't you think people
And I might as well just buy like an Xbox Series S and play games on that.
I mean, Xbox is. I mean, it's already been noted that Xbox is like halfway behind, like if not less, behind PlayStation this generation
Yeah,
on sales.
PlayStation has kept to their momentum from the PlayStation 4, but I don't know. I'm really interested to see how that all works because
I think Game Pass
Xbox,
cannibalizes Xboxes, not PlayStations. I think it
Yeah.
cannibalizes Xboxes. I don't feel like anyone talks about this, and it's fine because like PC gamers are PC gamers. If you have the money to spend on an Xbox, why not just get a little bit better PC? You know what I'm saying? That's kind
Yeah,
of what I'm
yeah.
talking about. That's kind of
Of
where I'm
course.
at.
Yeah, if you can upgrade your video card for less than the cost of an Xbox, you might as well upgrade your PC, you know. But yeah, I don't know. People are like either I don't want to spend $70 on a new game, or they want to just
Oh, for
download the
sure.
game and have,
For
no
sure.
value constraints. It's just all these games are going to be on there.
Right.
I don't know. I think if the Switch ever does, that would be so rad if Xbox Game Pass came to like streaming services. I could do it on my TV or my PC, just streaming, or my Switch, just that kind of stuff. That would be amazing. I would subscribe to it.
Well,
I would
I'm still getting
stream
PlayStation
time.
now. I did a year subscription.
Oh, okay.
I
And you
have
never
it.
touch it, right?
And so obviously the PS1, PS2, PS3 games stream. I have crazy good internet, so they stream without any issue. But all the PS4 games I can download and play without any issue. And then PlayStation is slowly getting better. Like Ghost Runner, that like kind of cyberpunk first person runner game.
It's a
This
fast
month,
game.
it's like, oh, I get to play that. I get to try
Okay.
it and fuck around with it. I hear it's super fucking hard. I'll play it for like 10 minutes and be done with it. But it's super fucking
Yeah.
cool that I can do that. And I feel like PlayStation now is like the redheaded stepchild. No one gives a shit about it. Throw it under the carpet. Fuck it. But like,
So my experience with PlayStation Now, it actually it worked, and it kind of disappointed me in the same way because
did it worked?
I played Little Nightmares. I streamed most of the game, and then I downloaded it to finish it, and my save file was not in the cloud. I couldn't download it. I couldn't play the downloaded save file. I couldn't even go back to the streaming version that I streamed, and my save file was not there. So I would have had to replay the whole game, and I don't understand what happened
I see how that could
because
be
it's
problematic.
it's an auto checkpoint system where it saves automatically, but my save was gone, and I didn't want to play through the whole game again.
That sucks. That
I was
sucks.
I was almost done with it when
I
I downloaded it.
100% agree with that shit. All I only play games I've never played on it. Like I've never
Yeah,
played a game I've already played, so I don't know what that's
yeah.
like. I should try Borderlands or something to see what
Like
that
Little
does.
Nightmares was super rad, and I loved it, but I didn't love it enough to play through 6 chapters again. Well, however long the game was, I think I
Right.
might have been almost to the end,
Right.
and then I decided, oh, I'm just gonna download it, or um, I started a game. I can't remember what the game was, but I didn't realize, I started the subscription late in the month, so I got to play the game that I was really enjoying for like a day, and then it went away, and
Right.
I was just, kind of annoyed with that. But I think that's an Xbox Game Pass thing as well. Games come and go, so it's not just a PlayStation Now thing. I feel that there are games that are on there permanently, but the new ones that come out are there for a short period of time, or even a month.
I definitely have issues with Game Pass sometimes when I have it. I mean, I don't always have it. I'll like kind of join when it's cheap and then I'll cancel.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had issues where like the game won't launch or I have to delete everything and reinstall it. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, they're not these perfect solutions, you know. I mean,
Well, that takes me back to Psychonauts, because the first time I booted up this computer after I upgraded it, Psychonauts worked great, and I played it for hour and a half or so, and then Windows Update happened, and knowingly there was an issue in April which prevented a lot of games from booting, and that was Psychonauts. Psychonauts was one that would not run on my PC until this month again. I tried in August, and it finally downloaded and actually worked. I tried it again because I really was enjoying the game, and I keep trying month to month to month, and
to finish it.
deleting it, reinstalling it, and it just always would not boot. And it finally boots again after like a recent Windows update. So I'm playing through that, and I'm really enjoying that.
There's a part of me
Uh,
that thinks like there's all these ecosystems and they all work relatively well. But like if I just stick with one, at some point I'm going to have a decent deal like the other one. Like, I get it that,
Yeah.
like they're all competing, but at the same day, all those publishers and developers are also competing to get their games out cheap, give us a deal. And it's just like, does it really ultimately matter at the end of the day? No. I mean, the only reason you're getting Game Pass is so you can play the brand new fucking Halo and Forza day and date, which is brilliant if you're a fan of those titles. If you're not, then you're not going to fucking buy Game Pass. Because Game Pass has the same games that PlayStation Now does, or Steam is giving away, or Epic Games is giving away for free. You know, it's as a gamer, like a hardcore gamer like us, man, I'm getting all these free games. I'm not playing a single fucking one of them. You know? It's like I got Plague Tale. What, we got Plague Tale last month or a couple months ago on PlayStation Now. This month I got it again on Epic. It's like I have 2 copies of this game. I'm probably never gonna fucking play it.
Yeah, I have it installed on my PlayStation 5, so I do want to play it. But again, like it's just the challenge.
But you know what
time.
I mean, right?
Yes, I do. There's a lot of PlayStation Plus games I really want to play and go back to, but I just never do because I have other games that I've been working through or am buying. Like, you wouldn't believe my backlog right now. It's stupid.
Well, mine. But what I'm saying is like there's certain developer publishers that are pushing their games for free. And so you get them, oh, we got them here this month for free. We got them here this month for free. There's certain publishers that don't give their shit away for free at all. And those are the games that people kind of want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So
even like they won't go on sale even. So you just kind of like sit. They're on like your favorites list or something like that. You might get notified that they're on a discount, but it's like a 10% discount or something like that.
And then
that's
Nintendo's
really, really critical on the Nintendo.
Well, then Nintendo, yeah, exactly. Nintendo's over here, and they're like, oh, they're giving games away for free.
Well, yeah, just talking about that makes me think like, oh, I loved Yoshi's Island back in the day, but I'm not going to spend $60, even $45 on Yoshi's Island for the
20
Switch.
20 years later, basically. You know what I mean? It's like
two years after the game came out. There's absolutely no reason it should still be at full price and maybe go on a discount for $48. I think is the lowest I've ever seen it. And it's fucking wild. Nintendo just doesn't make much sense. I would love to buy a lot of Nintendo games, but I'm not going to buy them.
They wrote you a card that says, hey, Jarrod, how's it going? Thank you for being a valued fan. Get fucked.
Yeah, oh yeah, here, stick this Nintendo emblem up your ass. You know, they really don't care. They
don't.
They understand they are the Apple of video game consoles. They're not going to lower the price of anything. Oh, their generational stuff is
their hardware is not better.
So unnaturally worthless. Like, oh yeah, there's a slightly better screen for $50. You already have a Switch, so buy another, please. And they're gonna sell out. It's just dumb. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It's disgusting.
An OLED screen that's not gonna look any better than the current screen because it's not more powerful. They're not gonna push the 4Ks that everybody wanted. You know, there's no more Ks.
And you won't be able to play it in the sunlight because their glare is still going to suck. So you won't be able to see it outside anyway.
But all right, back to what I was playing.
What else have you been playing?
Keep getting swayed away.
Just name them off. Just like you must be rifle them off.
So since I'm in the garage, I have my PlayStation 4 Pro out here. I've been playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Dragon Ball Fighters, whatever you want to call it, and I'm really liking that. It's just kind of fun to dick around in the story mode. I have it on easy because I suck at fighting games. I don't really want to stress out about like the story mode. The story mode has like this little map where you go to different locations to fight different people, and you have a certain amount of turns.
Right.
And each turn, like even if you move to an empty space, that is a turn. If you go into a fight and lose the fight, that is a turn. So I've been just kind of fighting through, having fun, and so far, like the first
I have a question for you.
6 zones are all tutorial.
I have a question for you about the game.
I will maybe have an answer for you about the game.
I feel like all the characters kind of fight the same. Like I
Yeah,
played it. I
well,
played it for
they
quite
all
a
have the
bit. I
same
played it.
moveset.
Yeah, I feel like they all have the same moveset. So I kind of bounced off it because what's the point? That was
Yeah, they all have the same controls, but each move looks different.
not all of them.
Is
No,
about it.
I feel like they look the same too.
Yeah, yeah, it's very similar. So you could pretty much pick, your favorite character and have the same fun as somebody else that has. I mean, there's like some characters I don't like because their moves are different enough to be just more annoying than the normal, big fighter. It's the little guy. I honestly don't know Dragon Ball super well. I think the little guy's name is.
Nor
I
do
don't
I.
know the little guy's name, but I'm not. I'm gonna guess Krillin, but I think that's probably
I
wrong.
like
And
the
Dragon Ball
overworld hub, like
fan
the
would kill
lobby
me.
hub. I think that's
It's
great.
fun, yeah.
I think no, but just like how
So
it's laid out and like you can fight people or fight story or fight
yeah.
PvP or whatever. I feel like I like that kind of like remember in Jump Force and how awful Jump Force was? I feel
Well,
like
I
Dragon
remember we both jumped into
yeah,
that beta and we never got into a match. And
it was awful.
you had to practice the whole time. So you just kind of like effed around in the loading screen pretty
It's
much.
awful, but I feel like Fighter Ball Z has a better like lobby world, and it's close together, and everything's. I like a lot of things about Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I just feel like the actual fighting is redundant. Like it's. I mean I've played a bunch of different characters, and I just feel like they all do the same bullshit, and I'm just like
Yeah, I just want to get through the story because I don't know.
I wanted
Dragon
to do
Ball has
that.
always interested me to some degree. I've never actually spent the time to watch the series, but this game, it goes on sale so often for next to nothing. So I bought it, and I've just been kind of churning through the story. I probably won't do anything beyond that.
It
But I
looks
mean, it's fun
brilliant.
enough to play.
It's
Yeah, it looks
so
great.
brilliant, man. Like it looks like you're like I've seen some. I mean, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan, but you watch a cartoon and then the shit's happening. And it's like that's literally what this game is like. It's
Oh yeah, yeah. It straight
it's
up looks like the show. It's wild.
it's great. It's wonderful. I feel like there could be a little bit more fighting variance, and I feel like it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
That's all my only concern about it. I mean, I played
Yeah,
it
I
for
mean,
quite a bit.
there is a lot of characters and stuff like that, but yeah, it's
Not enough female
Not-
characters. Dragon Ball. Let me
yeah,
down.
yeah, that is true. It's a bunch of dudes trying to get more powerful. That's like all they ever talk about is I need to get more powerful. I need to have bigger arms than everybody. Just need to be powerful. It's funny. It's so goofy and weird, but it's I appreciate it on some level. It's just a fun, dumb kind
Yeah,
of thing.
right. But I don't understand why is there so much love for it? I guess I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like again, I've never sat down and actually like played through
Or
much
watched
of
it.
it.
I never watched it either, so.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe someday I'll sit down and watch. I like to watch anime here and there. It's fun stuff.
What else you been playing?
But moving along, in my PS5, my PS5 inside,
You have a
I've been
PS5?
playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I thought you beat it.
But I did not upgrade to the integrate or whatever
Oh.
the upgrade because
Integrad.
I would have had to pay for that, and I don't really care enough to do that because I was into it for the story, and the graphics on the game are so good. Of course there are plenty of issues on the PS4 edition because of pop in and stuff like that, but I didn't really care so much. It's not like game breaking or anything like that. The game's so linear that you're just kind of pushing through to get to the story bits, and they did a fantastic job. Enough people have talked about this game. I love Final Fantasy VII. I played the PS1 version and got all the summons and beat all got all the crazy spells and summons and all that shit. And bred all the chocobos. I spent a ton of time in that game world. And honestly, I don't remember shit about it, obviously, because Final Fantasy VII Remake, I didn't remember most of the story beats, but I know they added a whole bunch of stuff and a lot of content, and it's actually really well done. I really like the characters. They did a really fantastic job on Aerith, Tifa. They added a lot of personality to them, and it's who you could envision the characters to be when you were playing the original Final Fantasy VII.
I have a question. Did it?
They need to modernize Barrett. You know, he's always got his gruff voice. It'd be nice if he could talk like a normal person every
Did
once in a while instead of yelling all the time.
did they end the game where you thought they would end the first chapter of this version? Like obviously they're remaking the game. There's this huge Final Fantasy original game, and then they're doing chapters. When this first chapter ended, was it exactly where you thought they would end the chapter?
No, I kind of figured they'd end it right where disc 1 ended. You know, there was 3 discs originally, and it did not end where disc 1 would have ended. And I don't know, I'm really interested to see where it's going. I mean, they have the meteor and stuff like that as a concept with Sephiroth and all that pumping through. So it's interesting to see where they're going to take this, and I'm really curious how long we'll have to wait for part 2.
Do you think I would like this game, Jarrod? I played the demo. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I really want to play it. I just don't know if I have the wherewithal at this point in my life to like throw myself to it. Do you think it's something I would enjoy?
I think to some degree you might like it, because if you throw it on easy like I did, you know, I just really want the story. The battles really aren't a big challenge on easy. They're actually pretty fun. You know, you can still mess around with skills and upgrade your weapons and things like that. But like boss fights aren't gonna make you restart the boss fight and all the conversations a million times. You know, just failing on those. You don't have to do all the side quests. They don't. You might get like a trophy for doing things like that, but it's not really important to do the side quests. So you could probably just bash through the game in, you know, like less than 20 hours.
How long do you think it took you to beat it?
Like 23,
All right.
something like that. You know, I'm not much. Like Aaron, I think, is on like chapter 14, just kind of fighting through. I think those are the last like side quests, because not every chapter has a bunch of side quests. It's like 3 different chapters might have a bunch of side quests.
Right.
And I chose to do all those, even with as little time as I spent in it. I think where I cut most of my time off was by playing it on easy, because the battles don't take very long. And I really appreciated that. And I hope they do the same thing on the next parts as well, because I don't want to play Final Fantasy VII again for the challenge, because
Right.
that's the most annoying part about JRPGs or any RPG is the challenge. Like I gave up on Octopath Traveler because it got annoyingly hard and I didn't want to grind. I don't like grinding anymore because I don't have all day to sit down and just bash on a button for
I don't have
10
I don't
hours,
have a
you
life
know?
anymore. I have an actual life. I have to do things in my life.
Yeah, so you don't have to grind in Final Fantasy VII Remake if you play it on easy, and that is what makes it the perfect remake.
All right, so I have another question though. So we did the whole episode Final Fantasy VII with the guys, and we talked about it. But where does this, like, as a video game in respect to the original, is this one better, or are you constantly thinking of the original while you're playing?
Honestly, because the original came out so long ago, there may be a couple of story beats I kind of remember or was expecting but did not see. So, as a fan, I'm not like hardcore fan or anything like that. You know, I love the Final Fantasy series, and I've played every title except for like 11 and maybe some of the first ones that, you know, came out way later. Um, it's its own thing with characters you recognize and some story beats that you may recognize, and I don't think they miss out on some of your favorite parts. They just kind of wrap those other parts in a different way to where they're recognizable yet not, you know, you will know what's going on in the story. You're not going to know exactly what's going to happen, and that is what carries you through the game, I think, is because you don't have expectations. You're actually waiting for the surprises and different changes of the storyline, and you're trying to learn how these characters are portrayed. As you know, this original game came out in 1997. That's a long time to develop characters over history, over like sequels, additive type games, movies, all sorts of different stuff that you think you know these characters, but you really don't. And they're portraying them in a way that makes them more real, and they have emotions and they have drive. And that I really think is what makes this game a real achievement.
Cool. I mean, just like with all of what you just said, and then bringing in the obviously higher resolution, the better graphics, the music. Do you think this is the better version?
If you're into retro, or just as a fan of Final Fantasy VII.
I mean, I've never played the original, so I can't say. I'm just trying to say, like,
You
if
don't
you
need to go back.
if I'm me, if I'm a person who's never played Final Fantasy VII, should I go retro with it, or should I just play this new version?
No, you would hate the random battles. The battles would be annoying, because it interrupts what you're trying to do.
Right.
I don't miss random battles. A lot of people like JRPGs because of the random battles, but these days, as you know, I've played tons and tons of JRPGs, but now I have troubles going through them because I have an agenda in the
Yeah.
game, and the battles are what's holding me back.
But that's the randomness. That's our, that's trying to mix it up, make it like real, like it could happen anytime, Jared. It could happen anytime. Right now, someone could
No.
fight you.
No,
No?
no,
No?
just no. Like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, way back on the Super Nintendo days. A lot of people hated that game, but I really dug it. Even in my early JRPG days, I'd played a lot of JRPGs before that, but I could see the enemies. I could dodge them if I wanted, and oftentimes I did, because the battles, random battles, are just obnoxious. They really are. Uh, like when you have to grind in an old school JRPG, and even a lot of new school JRPGs like Octopath, a lot of these battles are just nuisance ones. Like if you get in it, it's like, oh, there's like two enemies, you just keep pounding X, they'll die in 2 hits. It's a big waste of time. It really is. And with this, you still have to fight some weak enemies on easy, but it ends very quick. There's no fanfare at the end. It's like, oh, they'll say something like nice, or Barrett will go dun 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 dun, dun, which I love because that's Final Fantasy battle victory music. But it's just like, okay, let's move along. It doesn't cut off. It doesn't load in a new screen. It doesn't have to pan around the whole tiny little battle arena, like in the original, and then everything takes forever to do, and then the battle ends, and you see, here's the menu, here's your experience, here's all this. It's just like, here it is, here's the end of the battle, here's the experience, move along. I like that faster pace. I really do. I'm not dissing on JRPGs, just they're not for me anymore.
Yes.
Like, I mean, yeah, of course I'm dissing on it for my tastes.
Well, I want you
It's
to
not-
play Battle Chasers, and I imagine I saw you playing Battle Chasers
I
a little
started
bit,
it.
but you haven't been playing it since. So I imagine you don't like it.
I started it.
You started it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm too early into it. I think I've gotten like 2 or 3. Yeah, I have 3 of the characters back
So
after the
good.
ship crash and
So much fun.
and stuff like that. I'll probably keep it up. It's still installed on my PS5, so don't worry. I'll probably get around to Battle Chasers Night War. But I mean, I did just pick up the
What-
Evil Within
yeah,
2.
what else are you playing?
Finally, I still have the
Dude,
whole Kingdom
Jared,
Hearts
talk for-
series that I
Hey,
haven't
Jared,
touched.
talk for like, at least talk without me talking for like 5-10 minutes. I gotta go get a beer. I need a beer.
5 to 10 minutes. Jeez, that's a long
All right,
time.
I'll
to
be
get a
back in
beer.
2 minutes. Jesus. Talk
Okay,
about.
but
Wait. Evil Within.
the Evil Within. is a series that I talked about in the past on this podcast about the first one, of course. And the first one is, survival horror. I don't know if you know much about Evil Within, but it gives you the choice in most levels to sneak through and dodge some encounters. And I found the stealth to be complete garbage. I ended up having to clear out most waves of enemies, and the bosses were not about stealth at all. And they were just monotonous mazes of trying to figure out how to trap them in traps and stuff like that. So the first one had some interesting points and, really weird kind of story stuff and story beats. So
And you decided to get the second one.
it was a pretty middling game, but I hear that the second one is actually pretty good. Most of the time the sequel is better. A lot of fans will say what they did and didn't like, and the creatives will take a look at those and see which ones they're just full of, and which ones they should keep. And I don't know. I've heard that the second one's better. I've never actually checked the Metacritic scores or anything like that of either of them. So I don't know where my likes and dislikes are in line with the average user of those sites, but I don't know. I feel that most of the time the sequel is better, so I might start that later this fall. I don't know. Like I generally choose scarier games for fall. I think that's a nice fitting
How'd you get it so
season
cheap?
for those. I bought it at Fred Meyer. It was on the clearance table. They have like a table in the front of the electronics department, and it had like a sticker for like $11.47, and I had a coupon that just came in the mail for like another 10% off or something like that. So I got it for about $10. It's just like, oh, okay, I'll buy a disc copy of The Evil Within for $10, to which none of my other friends have the balls to play. So I don't know why I even needed the disc.
But you liked that first one, though. I mean, even though it had problems, you liked the first one.
It did have problems. I dug the story, and it was super weird. A lot of those weird Japanese horror games just kind of take it there and try to confuse the hell out of you, which that game's really good at confusing you about what's going on with this guy's mind and some of the weird stuff that's happening around you. And I'm really interested to see where the sequel takes it.
I have a question.
I just hope they fix the stealth, because the stealth in the first one was not good. I didn't. Most games that give you the option to have stealth do it terribly.
Right.
And I don't know if that's because it's true. I am terrible at stealth, or if the stealth mechanics are just garbage. So I hope they really upgraded that feature of the game.
You still have the disc copy of the first one?
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
I have a box that I'm looking at that it might be in.
No, I just feel like we should pressure Dave to play that game.
He doesn't play. He played Resident Evil 7, right? Is that the last?
I think so. So he played Evil Within.
Yeah, he did that.
He
He did
could
Resident Evil 2.
He could
Okay, so
probably
maybe
do it.
the Evil
He
Within.
might do it. He might be. He might be like, hey, Dave, if you're a man, hey, we should throw it. We should because Aaron bailed out of this show. Dave has to play Evil Within.
You gotta find some stupid ass reason, the lamest one you can find.
That's my lamest one. It's the lamest one I got. So, what else you got, Jared? You got any more games?
Jeez.
Because I know you play
Switch,
all the
yes.
games. Oh yeah, Aaron's got games. Or Aaron's got games.
I'm playing on the Switch. I bought Blaster Master Zero 3. I've talked about
another
the other
one.
Two.
They have another one.
The third one is the finale. The finale in this series. Like Blaster Master Zero was like a retelling of the first one, and then the Blaster Master Zero 2 was a sequel, and this is the finale of those. And one of the nice things about Blaster Master Zero 3 is that a lot of your upgrades that you got for your tank ship thing, whatever the heck you want to call it, that thing still carry through.
How new is this game? Like brand fucking new?
Yeah, it just came out this month.
All right, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna label
it's
the
very
title
known.
Blaster Master 03.
Yeah. All right. This one was a little more expensive than the other two because the other two came out at $9.99. This
Oh,
one's
this is
$14.99.
this is
This is
extra
their
shit.
magnus opus. This game has
Is it longer?
everything that I think so.
Oh, you haven't
Maybe
finished it yet.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm pretty close. And what I like about the series is that it gives you the option just to go and beat the game without doing a lot of work, but you get a really bad ending that everything gets effed up. Like the world will end, all your characters will die, kind of devastation, or you can spend the time to go and get the collectibles. And I think I'm almost at that point where I'm going to get the really bad ending.
Oh, really?
And I really love that about this series because it lets you know the things you need and you can push forward without getting them. But there's consequences. And I really dig that. I mean, they still have the same retro 8-bit style, but they do such a good job. Like the explosions are super cool. Like the really big ones near the middle / end of the game, the explosions just look really cool. And that ship is just really fun to drive around. They still have like you can jump out as Jason is the name of the human, and you can go into the dungeons and stuff like that and control him around. And those are still a lot of fun. The bosses are, the same old thing, but updated for this game. They might have different dimensional things because there's a lot of like dimensional tearing and stuff like that, for the storyline. It's really, really interesting and really well written. I really enjoy the characters of the series, and it's kind of sad that this is the final one because I'm really enjoying the series. It's not often. Well, it'll be the final of these characters in this series specifically, but I hope the Blaster Master series continues. It would be kind of cool if this team did like a 16-bit version, just kind of moved it along with the
Oh, I
tech.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool, just kind of doing the step tiers, because the game after the NES, I don't know how many people actually followed it, but I never played any of the games post NES, and these ones are all like 8-bit style. So I'm really curious what this team's going to do next. If they're just going to like, okay, we're done. I don't know how their sales have been, but this, I don't know about the whole trilogy, but I know this latest one was released on pretty much every console.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm assuming that all of them came out to PC, all the other consoles, eventually. But most of them, I think, were Switch exclusive at the start.
Cool.
So I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but whatever.
Are they fucking hard?
You can find them. Some of the battles are pretty hard. I'm on like this kind of final boss style fight, and it's really hard. Of course, being the final boss, you expect to work a little harder for them. But there's some bosses I died, 2-3 times on, and then eventually destroyed it. But
Right.
the most annoying part about this series is that when you're in the dungeons as Jason and you're walking around on foot, top view style, every time you get hit, if you're not upgraded well enough, or if you're having difficulties, every time you get hit, there's this loss that you get where your weapons become less useful every time you get hit. So if you're having a lot of difficulties with enemies, your weapons keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker with less range and less range. And it's more annoying than actually a good feature. And I think they should just get rid of that part of it. The rest of it, I don't mind a challenge, but if you're having difficulties in a big battle arena, your weapons shouldn't become useless.
Right.
Like the range of your weapons becomes much less, your damage becomes less, and the amount of enemies you can hit with one weapon becomes less. So it just becomes trivial at that point. And you're just like, oh god, I want to die so I can relive my save, kind of a thing. It becomes less fun,
Right.
and not all the dungeons give you tons of power-ups to get back up to where you were. So that's the only complaint with the series is in the dungeon part and with the weapons weakening with hits. Like the dungeons in this one have these enemies that just kind of get annoying to kill because they take a long time, a lot of ammo, and there's almost no point in killing them because they immediately respawn because you're trying to figure this stuff out quickly to get through and hit certain switches to get to the next zone because like a lot of these zones are dungeons are 4-tiered dungeons and you have to figure out like there's switches you have to hit with specific weapons, which that's pretty easy to tell. They're color coded, and your weapons are too. So I mean, it's easy, but getting to them and battling through the enemies that immediately respawn gets really really trivial and annoying. But the game's really solid, and it's fun to play. I'm enjoying the writing in it. So yeah, I like Blast Master Zero 3.
If you were to compare all three of them together so far, which one do you think is the better of the? I mean, like usually of a trilogy, there's a better of the games, or are these just solid across the board?
Across the board.
The board.
Get the whole trilogy. I hope they release them as a package or something like that. If it came down to it, I might actually buy like a physical edition with all three of them. I think limited run games did one of each. You know, they didn't get their own physical release, but I think limited run games did. So I bet you could buy the first one for $100 and some bucks right now on eBay or some garbage like that. But that's beyond me. I'm not gonna buy a $10 game for $45 or $50 on a disc. I'm not into that. I'm not a huge collector or anything like that. I stopped that a long time ago.
How long was each trilogy, like each chapter of the game? So does it feel like as together they would make one like solid fucking game?
Like 10 to 15.
I mean, so if you're looking at like a 40-50 hour game if they were all together.
Yeah, I suppose 30 to 40 hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to get out of them, but yeah, I mean it's really good, and I hope more people go out and buy. I don't know how successful they've been.
It must be if they've made it a third one.
Enough. I don't know. I mean, maybe they had that in the cards from the beginning to make the third one, But so, games like that are like retro style, they may not take really big teams or anything like that, so they don't have to hit really top tier numbers and stuff like that in sales.
True.
But I really hope they've been successful enough to get that team working on more modern things. Not even really modern, just even like 16-bit. It'd be kind of cool if they did that series with just slightly updated graphics or something like that.
It's probably hitting a very niche crowd like you.
Yeah, totally.
But it's not getting a popular crowd. It's just like, oh, we're surviving off of this. We'll keep making this.
Yeah. So it'd just be really interesting to see how the series did after this finale. Like if they ever talk about that, I'd be really interested to see. I really should just dive in and see what that team's gonna do next because
they need a Blaster Master movie is what they need.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd work so much, yeah, there's a lot of weird creatures and some interesting characters with. There's one with really big boobs, Ian. You might like her. Yeah.
What else you got, Jarrod? You got anything else?
That's all I can think of.
You're like an hour in. You've been talking for an hour, Jarrod. You've been talking for an hour.
I bought my daughter Super Mario Brothers 3D World or whatever the crap that's called. The more recent Mario game. She really digs that. But
cool.
I played a little bit of it. It feels good. They sped it up from the Wii U version, which I hear was very slow. So the pace of it seems appropriate for the type of game it is.
Or kind of where the culture is at. Of where we're at. Like, we're not so slow anymore. We're a little faster now. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, maybe the Wii U had to slow it down because the hardware was garbage. And now...
What are you talking about? It's not garbage. I have one right here. It's great. It's the best console I didn't pay. It's the best console I didn't pay money for.
Yeah. Go play it again. When was the last time you touched the thing?
Well, console a while. I've never played 3D Mario because fuck Mario.
Have you ever beat a game on it?
Yeah, I beat Bayonetta 2 on it.
Oh, that's right, because that's the only thing you could buy it on, you dick. And you had to have it, because you're never getting Bayonetta 3.
Never. Well, I've been playing. What have I been? I have 3 games I've been playing, Jarrod. Which one do you want me to talk about? I'll run it fast. I managed man, it's been so long since we've talked to the public. It's a long time ago. I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I didn't like it very much, and so I stopped playing it. A couple weeks ago, I started playing it again, and now I really like it.
That's awesome. You love stacking rocks, right? Is that your jam?
That's what it is.
Yeah. You just
I
stacking rocks.
hated it for a while, but like, oh no, I want to do this again. I want to start stacking them again. I just needed a break, and then I came back. I still don't think the character. I mean, here's the thing. I didn't really like the character. The character is really slowly starting to grow on me, but the story is not as compelling as Odyssey was. The game is fucking beautiful. It plays well, and so I stuck with it. I'm like 50, 60 hours in, close to beating it, but man, Assassin's Creed is always going to have my heart, so it's a good game. I think because I put fucking almost 200 hours in on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's why Valhalla suffered, because I just wasn't ready to play it. Had to take a break for like a year.
Yeah, that, and you bought other Ubisoft games in the same year. So you had this big old Ubisoft open world, just, you got backlogged, and you're like, I've had enough. I'm done.
But I like it. I like it a lot. It does a lot of cool things. There's some cool... So you can definitely tell the different teams. Assassin's Creed 3, they really care about you making a community at your home base. Next Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, cares not so much. Next Assassin's Creed, they want you to make a community. Next one, not so much. Odyssey, not so much.
Yeah.
But like,
so
Valhalla is like, build a community, make all this shit people care about. It's like, that shit I don't really give a shit about, man. So like, there's two different teams. They do similar things, but one cares about making a community bullshit. And it's like, I don't want to build a community and like have to care about people and take care of them. I'm out killing people. I'm supposed to go out there and kill people. I'm not here to skin. No, it's not required, but it's just like they're hounding you every which way but loose to be like, oh, could you do this for me? It's like, no, I don't want to fucking do. There's like 20 million other people in our community that could do that for you. It doesn't have to be me. And so this developer needs to like sit down and shut the fuck up and say like, hey, unless I want to come in and say, hey, I'll help you, I don't want nothing to do with that shit, man. Like, I don't want to build it. Odyssey got that. Odyssey was like, we're just out there. We're like Zelda, out there doing shit, doing a good time. Valhalla is like, no, you really need to take care about your people. It's like, my people are fine.
Yeah.
If you know, if my literal label is warrior, it's not dig yourself a hole, put a tree in it, and build a fucking community character. It's a kill people community character. It's not. Yeah. So there's so much conflict within the character bullshit that like drives me nuts. It's like, hey guys, let's reel it in a little bit. Let's realize what kind of person we are. I wanted to. Here's the thing, and you know what? You probably get these fucking stupid ass surveys, and it's like, what do you like? Well, I like creating my house. Okay, that's fair enough. I like decorating my house with shit that I did out there in the world. I don't like decorating a fucking community. That is not what I want. That's not. Don't take what I said here and then make it this other bullshit. If I killed a boss and I chopped off his fucking head, sure, I would love to decorate my house with his fucking head mounted above my fire. It does not mean I want to go walk around through my village and say, hey, will you help me build my tent and hunt deers? Because literally running around and killing deers for like 5 minutes is the stupidest fucking mission.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, I like games that if you bring in specific characters, which that game probably has many.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That changes the city and gives you different tents, but you should not have to
Exactly.
develop the whole community. That shouldn't be
You
your
make a
job.
great point there, Jarrod. Like, if we're out there molding the story, and if I kill a certain character, that should affect what you do back home. That's interesting. That's more interesting than me making it. The only piece that I want to create is my house that I live in, or my character.
Yeah,
I have no interest in creating everyone. I have no interest in creating the whole village or town. Like, gamers, I ain't got time for that.
In a game that already has hundreds of hours of content, you really don't have to. You shouldn't have to build the whole city.
There's been some great character moments in the game, but they're never reflected later on. That's just never reflected later on. It's just other stupid shit that I don't really care about, that everyone can experience. So, it's a good game. It still suffers from the same open world Assassin's Creed bullshit. The character's not as charismatic as the last one. I still think Odyssey is the better game. But it's a solid game. If you like Vikings, it's a good game. Now, my other games. I beat Liberated on Switch. It's on everything Steam, and it's like this comic book game, side-scroller.
I'll be back while you talk about those.
Yes. Let's see. It's perfectly fine. I bought it cheap. I really wanted to play it. It's kind of this comic book theme thing. There's 4 issues. You play through each issue. It has a story. You kind of play and fight. I feel like once you get to like the second issue, everything in the second issue you've experienced, and then 3 and 4 is just kind of redundant and carries on. They didn't do enough new stuff to carry on the game, so it was just kind of meh. It's fine. The art style is great. The story is convoluted as fuck. I didn't think it was solid enough. I enjoyed it. If you find it for like I think I got it for like $2, really, $2 or $3. So $2.99 maybe. It's a good playthrough. It's like probably like half an hour for each comic book. So it's only like a 2-hour game, really. It's super easy to beat. I kind of had more hopes for it, and it was just kind of a letdown. So it was fine, perfectly fine. My other game, I have 2 other games. What else have I been playing? Oh, so Rogue Company. I recently went back to Rogue Company. They have a PS5 version out. It's like third-person CS:GO. I don't know. I like it. I need at least one multiplayer game in my life. I like to kill real people once in a while. And I know the other guys, they're not really into multiplayer. But since I'm not playing Fortnite with Ryan anymore, and I'm on the Call of Duty boycott because fuck Activision Blizzard, because those guys are fucking douchebags. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, fucking Google that shit, because that shit's fucking awful and those people need to get fucked. I'm playing Rogue Company, and I really like that game. I'm like also super close to platinuming Rogue Company. So I've been playing a lot of Rogue Company. I think I need like 4 trophies to platinum that game. I just wish I had more friends that played it, because I need to play in a party. But I love that game. And then my last game I've been playing is a naughty game. We're gonna play it. And it's been spawning this idea that maybe Ian will do an episode where he talks about the naughty games he plays. So it's called She Will Punish Them. It's on Steam. It's basically it's basically a RPG where you go around, kill things, get loot, and move on. And it's like almost worse than Skyrim in its mechanics, though the mechanics are completely sound. Visually, it's incredibly busty women. You dress them however you want. It's fun.
Yeah, it sounds about right for you.
It's
that's all
awesome.
right,
It's so good. And they're still in early access. I bought the game and it's still in early access, so it hasn't even launched yet. But it's just it's great. I wish it had more of a
Yeah.
story, but man, the modeling is perfect, and you have lots of lingerie and shoes to choose from. And anyway, I've been playing video games.
Well, all right.
All right, you wanna talk about
just a quick question: is the gameplay good, or is it just about the ladies?
The gameplay is just about on par with like Skyrim mechanics. Like it's not good. Like the fighting is about on par with. It's not that great.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
I
literally
gotcha.
fine.
It's fine. Okay.
But it doesn't glitch out or freak out. The game doesn't fuck up. It's not a game you need to play. No one needs to play it.
So back to Rogue Company.
Okay.
I think I play games too late to join you.
No, you can play.
I think I saw you on once.
Yeah, I was on the other
But
night.
I don't see you online playing games very often. Otherwise, I might download games that you have.
I kind of play like between like what? I'm kind of that 10 to midnight. That's where I'm
Yeah?
at. That's my pocket. That's what last time I was playing. 10 to midnight.
Okay, yeah, that's about when I get
It's
to
a
play
small
most of the time.
download, I think, for PS5. I think it's like 8, maybe 10 gigs. You got to watch out, though. Here's the thing about that. You download Rogue Company, it downloads both the PS5 and PS4 versions. You got to make sure you then, once you hit it, you have to go back and cancel the PS4 version.
It doesn't do that anymore, does it?
No, because I literally just installed it recently.
Huh. Okay.
But-
I'll establish the download right now and see how that goes.
Oh, on your phone, that might be fine there. I don't know. I don't. You know, Jarrod's one of these futuristic guys that installs things through his phone. I don't do that very often. I love that game. I think it's great. You know what, Jarrod? Just don't play online games. They have a shit ton of practice modes. Just kind of figure it out in the practice modes. And then once you have it kind of figured out, because each character has different kind of things they can do. I don't know. Play some practice modes. And then I would love to play. I mean, I love that game. Yeah, there you go. I think it's a great fucking game.
You can specifically, at least on the mobile app for the PlayStation, you can select the PS5 edition, add it to your library, and download to console.
Okay. Well,
So I don't know.
Hopefully it doesn't download the PS4
I thought
version.
that got more streamlined on the PlayStation 5. They've slowly patched it out to where it would only do like the one version or verify editions that you have on your console and tell you that what version you should be using, kind of thing. But I don't know. I haven't really bumped into problems with it.
Well,
downloading
the cool
PS4
thing
versions
for me on this it was like just last week I installed it, and then I was like, oh, it's downloading both of them. So I deleted the PS4 version, started the PS5 version, and then it was that whole same thing. Like it just kept pinging trophies. Like it's just like, oh, you got this trophy. You got this trophy. It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I still have I downloaded and installed Elder Scrolls Online when the PS5 version came out, but I didn't play any of it. I deleted it so I could make room for other games. You know, that's what you have to do this generation.
Right.
I'm not gonna afford the new M2, whatever the crap.
Dude, I
those
have
chips
so
are.
much free space.
Yeah, I don't have any space. But I have to manage games and stuff like that. Now you can do it on the app with your phone, which is nice. I've done that. So I could download. I do most of my downloads on my phone, and it's much more convenient than doing it on the PlayStation 5. So I'd urge you to do that when you're managing your memory, because it actually is useful, a very useful tool that makes life a little easier. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice staring at your big old TV, but looking at menus on your TV just kind of, you can only do that so much before it gets just kind of annoying.
What is the next big game you're looking forward to, Jarrod, for PS5? Since you're a PS5 guy.
What is that?
Because I don't know what I'm looking forward to. You know what I'm
it's just
honestly what I want? I'm looking.
Kenya,
Oh,
Bridge of
Kenya, the
Spirits.
Kenya. That's 2022
Yeah.
now, though.
No, that got
Didn't it get
delayed
delayed?
just like a month.
Oh, was it just
September.
some? I thought it was like
It was
2022.
supposed to come out this month. I'm pretty sure it only got delayed till September.
Okay. All
So
right.
that I think will be my next purchase, which I believe that's only going to be a $40 title.
Right. Correct. I think you're
Yeah, which
correct.
I'm kind of surprised about. I don't know. I'm excited about it. It's a studio that has done a lot of animation stuff in the past, and this is their first game. Ember Labs, I think, is what they're called. So maybe look up some of their work. They did some like Coca-Cola ads and stuff like that. You know, some really
I
cool
don't
CG
really care
stuff.
about that game for some reason.
And I'm really interested in it. The character seems really cool. I like the dumb little rot, I think is what they call those little black characters. And I don't know. I have a lot of interest in that title, and I've interacted with their Twitter a little bit, and they have a lot of fun on there. They're really cool social media team, so it's kind of fun to interact with them too.
I'm waiting for Mass Effect Legendary Edition to drop to like $29.99. And then I want to play through all of that again.
Maybe
That's
if they
what-
get a PS5 upgrade. I don't know. I don't have a ton of time for Mass Effect again. I love
kind
Mass
of want to
Effect so
play it. I
much.
kind of want to play it again. I
Well,
don't know.
just being able to play Mass Effect 1 with updated skill sets and controls and stuff like
And
that, I
HUD.
think would
And
really,
HUD.
really make that game. Yeah, because that game I loved. I remember when Dave played it, we had troubles in the same spots. Got to talk about it a lot. We both played it on the 360 when I don't know about launch, but we played it on the 360 back in the day. Super solid game. Really, really great stuff. And that trilogy means a lot to me. I really love those characters and the moments you got to select choices for. I really appreciated that. I wasn't one of the people online attacking the company for doing 3 the way they didn't appreciate. I'm not into that. I'd much rather let them spend their money in appropriate ways that they had foretold versus spending hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars just to create a CG ending that people were kind of happy with.
It was
And
awful. It was awful.
yeah, fans are really hard on these companies, and I really wish that had stopped. Mass Effect 3 really got the butt end of that because they created such a huge fan base of all this choice, and then the ending happened, and so many people just went in there and tore them like 8 new assholes.
But what else did you want from
They
the ending?
really, I don't know.
I
I don't
expected
know,
her to
man.
die. Like, or him. Her or him. They were going to die. I don't understand.
Even
did you-
all the work they did, I didn't look at the response from the quote unquote fans, that tore them up. Just be fans of the
Vocal
studio.
minority.
Yeah, the vocal minority is so destructive and wastes a lot of company resources and money because reasons. I don't know, whatever.
Because I beat the game on the original ending, and I was 100% fine with it. I played it
Yeah.
through again on the next ending,
Me
and I
too.
felt like it was like whatever.
It's
I felt
almost
like
unnecessary. Like,
totally
what is this?
unnecessary. That was stupid.
But it cost the company so much money. I think they even had to cancel like DLC and stuff they were going to bring out to the game because all these assholes decided they didn't like it, how it went. And it was just such BS. And I feel so bad for that team. They just got bludgeoned with such hatred that
That's
they
kind
had
of
to go in
the
and
beginning of the
create-
end for Biohazard, because like
Yeah.
after that, they get so much shit. They got so much shit for Inquisition.
BioWare.
Oh, BioWare, sorry. They got so much shit for Inquisition. They got so much shit for Anthem or Mass
I
Effect.
loved Inquisition.
There's like, these are all, like, they're all pretty good fucking games. Like, Inquisition is a pretty solid game. It did get nominated for Game of the Year, which I'm surprised about. Mass Effect, Andromeda.
I liked Andromeda.
It's a
I
solid.
didn't love it.
I didn't
It's
love
super
it, but it's
solid
still a
game.
solid fucking game. It's like if that
They
didn't
were
have
trying.
if it didn't have anything attached to it, if it like wasn't attached to Mass Effect, people would love that game. It's like a solid fucking game,
So the problem with that game is that it was attached, as you were just saying,
Right.
but if they continued that story arc, just like Mass Effect 1, the sequel could have been something really great.
Right.
But
Because like
fans
the first Mass
attacked them
Effect,
because it wasn't Mass Effect.
yeah, the first Mass Effect was kind of a game that people liked. it was never a game that people were lauding over. It was just a game like, oh, this is a cool game. You guys should check this out. It was never that.
Your choices matter.
Right. So like, if I were BioWare, I would be like, fuck it, we're gonna just continue this shit because just build off that fucking game. Because I still have a character there.
They just needed back then. They needed to flex their I'm BioWare muscles.
Well, they need to have a fucking backbone. Is what they need.
You guys have loved our games. Just let us do this. We're taking it a certain way, and we think you're really gonna like it. Not we're sorry, vocal minority.
It's always apology.
Sorry that I offended you. It's just this little group of people that speaks up and really attacks these companies.
Exactly.
And makes them change the things that they were planning. Like, DLC, not a huge percentage of people buy the DLC and stuff like that. So yeah, they really should concentrate on the main story more. I don't know, maybe that's a big thing, but really some of these big companies really just need to hey, let us do our thing. Just hold on and just go with it. They're the creatives. They have objectives. Sadly, yes, sometimes the big corporation behind them gets in the way, and that's not their fault. Sadly, just go with it and hope that the big corporation will support them in their future endeavors instead of showing all this extra, dollars leaking out of the company by supporting your asshole comments.
I feel like EA is in a position to be like, fuck you guys. Like, I feel like EA has done a lot of goodwill right now, and I feel like here's the thing. If a developer is gonna be like, we're gonna make a game, and then it's not loved, it's not the publishers. It's like, hey, you guys didn't read the room right. We're gonna make another one. You guys got to figure out how to make it click. But Andromeda clicked a little bit. So I wouldn't be like, don't do that. It's like, how do we make it work? How do we make it work? That's the creative energy right there. And I feel like EA has nothing to do with that. EA is just like, I think Andromeda still sold a fuck ton. Like a fuck ton. So, like, I don't think they're really concerned about it. They just want...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
So, well, my final statement about that topic is just kind of talking about Amazon and Google both trying to bring up these big studios and trying to create video games and not understanding how much work goes into them and canceling the projects before they've come to fruition because they take so long.
Oh, yeah. They think they can break a game in like 1 or 2 years. And it's like, dude, if you're making an indie game, maybe, but if you're trying to do a AAA game...
Yeah, you're doing 6+ years. Minimum 6 years to get a brand new game up. Engine... all that stuff. If they weren't starting like a company that already had a project,
unless you buy a company like fucking 2K or Rockstar, and you just reskin a game. But like, if you're building it from the ground up, come on, wake the fuck up.
Yeah. So those big companies were completely in the wrong, jumping into the market and trying to believe that these companies could release really solid launches within a year or two of them creating the companies.
And I
think they were banking on that too.
Stadia, 100% Stadia was betting on that. And I wanted Stadia to be cool. I really kind of actually want to go back to Stadia. But I get their messages on email and I look at the amount. It's like, you guys need to really kind of listen, I will pay the $14.99 a month. But your fucking game prices, you need to compete against everybody. You're not competing against anybody right now. You're selling the game for like $5 less. And like PS Now, Xbox, Steam, Epic, they're selling games at like half price. You need to fucking compete. Why does Stadia, Who do they think they're fucking? They think they're advertising to people, just normal people. Oh, I'm just the normal Joe who doesn't play video games, and maybe I'll pick up. No normal Joe on the street has picked up a Stadia and is playing a video game. The only people that have your shit right now is a fucking gamer. So you gotta fucking compete with those people right now, because there's no normal Joe grandma with a Stadia controller in her hand thinking like, oh, I'll buy Tetris for $69.99. Come on, wake the fuck up. What the fuck is Google thinking?
My one experience trying to play an online game with that service was their free game. You didn't have to be subscribed. I don't know if it's still there, but it's Super Bomberman R, which I've been interested in, but it's been super expensive the whole time.
I have it on PS4, baby.
But I tried joining an online match and sat there for 10 minutes waiting for someone to join me, and nobody did. Nobody was looking for a match in that game.
I've had good experiences. Bill and I played Destiny 2 on Stadia pretty flawlessly, except for voice chat. Voice chat was kind of wonky sometimes. But the game itself was pretty solid. So we had a pretty good experience. But, like, I'm not paying $14.99 a month just to play fucking Destiny 2.
Well, come on. Later this month is going to be back. Well, crossplay. You can play it with your PC comrades in Finland.
Only PC.
PC, Xbox.
Maybe
whatever.
Maybe I'll get back into it. Maybe I'll log in and see all the content I can't play anymore.
I guess they're having a big event on the 24th of August.
All right,
so
we'll see.
It seems like
I'm
they're
just
gonna
saying
make a lot of big changes to the game. So we'll
I have
see.
great internet. Stadia would be perfect for me. But the fucking storefront is awful, and it doesn't offer me anything that better. And my thinking is that those people think that they're like, oh, we're not trying to cater to gamers. We're trying to cater to normal people. But normal people don't give two shits about what you do.
Could you imagine a normal person going into Destiny 2 and understanding one thing?
Could you imagine a normal person going into fucking the Stadia menu and trying to figure that shit out? No. Dude, only a gamer is gonna fucking waste the time to do that shit. Come on.
Yeah. Even then, tutorials can only be so good to introduce someone to games. And even like people that have been out of games for so long, they're trying to go for that market where there's people out there that have never used two joysticks to control one character.
For sure.
That's a whole like month of someone trying to play a game to learn that shit.
Google executives are fucking clueless. And hey, if you're listening to this and you work for Google, tell them that I said that. Fucking take this podcast and tell them I said that. And hey, if they want someone to work for them, to tell them to like fucking put my foot up their ass and tell them how it should be done, I'd love to get paid for that. Me and Jarrod we could both do that.
Yeah, why not?
We should get out of here. I think Jared's got to get out of here. I think he's like, his wife's like, are you done?
I got family to get to bed and stuff. I got all kinds of stuff going on.
All right. It was light when we started, and now it's like dark in the background. It's great.
Yeah,
I
don't see anything in the back. I almost looked back like, there was just sky back there, but now it's just black. So this episode has been kind of all over the place. If you have
it's a shoot the shit episode.
We have the couch co-op shows at gmail.com.
Yeah, we do.
Just throw us a random comment. We're kind of all over the place, but we ended up in the right place, I think.
Or at Couch Co-op Shows on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Couch Co-op Shows. You can hit us up there and leave us anything. I mean, or you know what you can do? You want something crazy? Hey, motherfuckers, you want to leave us a voice message? Do you want to leave us a voice message? Go over to the Couch Co-op show. Couch Co-hop with an H. H-O-P. On /anchor.fm. You can leave that show a message. You can hit a button. it'll record a message, a vocal message, and you can yell at us and tell us what we did wrong. Even though it's for that podcast, we'll play it on this one because we love you so much.
Put on Anchor as well.
Ours is out on Anchor, actually. Oh, you know what, Jarrod? You're right.
What are you talking about? Are you drunk?
I was trying to get them to go check out the other podcast.
Well, you can just throw that out there anyways.
Yeah,
This
you can
one
actually.
hasn't
You can.
well.
Jared's actually right. Actually, I think I paid Jarrod to do this whole turnaround. You can actually go to the Couch Co-op Show /anchor.fm, and you can leave us a voice message. It's simple, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen. You can leave us a voice message right now on anchor.fm. And anyway, we'll play it. We'll put it in the show, and you'll be, I don't know, you'll be on a fucking podcast that no one listens to.
Permanently ingrained into the Couch Co-op
there you go.
podcast.
There you go. Well, I'm Ian. Thank you, Jarrod, for joining me here on the couch.
Always.
Actually, this is an old school episode because Jarrod and I started this podcast many years ago, and it's just we're back here again.
I don't even know what episode number we're at this point.
We're like so many episodes. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been doing this
take
podcast for
breaks,
too long.
Long breaks. We've done frequent episodes, but right now we're on long breaks. We're not sure exactly when the next episode will come out, but I hope you enjoyed this one and you stick with us.
No money. We don't do it for the sponsors. We don't do it for people like no, we do it for you, motherfuckers. We do it for the people that care. We give you the real opinions of the real gamers, not these fucking fake ass motherfuckers up on the hill on Twitter fucking that you might like more than us. I get it. You might like them more than us, but
they probably have more of a personality. They're kind of hired to have one, right?
But they're not as real as us.
Yeah. We're not paid. We're just having fun here.
Anyway, we've been doing it for a long time. Jarrod, thank you very much. I love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And you can find us. I think I said it already, but iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. You can if podcasts. If there's a podcast, you can find it. Search it out. If it's the wrong podcast, just say, "Hey, you're not the guys I wanted."
If you heard this on the podcast streaming service of your choice, check out youtube.com/milkmanpictures and you can see our ugly faces.
Yeah, you can see the video version, which is crazy and stupid.
We're here. We even have our classic episodes of the Couch Co-op video show that those are questionable at best.
But Jarrod, thank you. And oh wait, what is it?
Good night, Ian.
Oh,
What?
it's be excellent to each other.
Wild stallions.
Let me play the opening.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.